Another week has rolled around, so it's time once again to stare into the abyss and bear witness to some of the truly terrible people that we share the planet with. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to People Being Awful Part 68. And today we'll kick off with a progressive woke leftist attempting to put forth an argument.
Let all the refugees in, let all the asylum seekers in, because we caused the wars, we were to blame for it, so let's let them come here and look after them like we deserve to. Yeah. The ruling class used the fascists and the racists on the street to gain parliamentary support so that they can be in power, and we got to watch that, because they use racism to divide the working class, because they're scared of the power that we have.
I've spoken to some people on the other side, they've used the term Islamization of society. What are your thoughts on that? That makes you pissed off, I can already see.
It's just an absolute racist term.
That's your common or garden Marxist cretin. We caused all the wars. Really, sir? Check not only history but also current events. Now, we caused the wars. I've scrolled back through my social media and I'm fairly confident in saying I haven't started any armed conflicts. I haven't contacted another nation and said, as of midnight, a state of war exists between our two countries. I simply don't have the authority. And let's be clear here, I have no problem with Ukrainian refugees because they are women and children who are the people you would expect to be leaving a war zone, and it is actually a documented war zone. Not only that, but Ukrainians, they're from a Christian country in Europe, so even though we don't share a language, we'll share the same values and standards. Also, Ukrainian women tend to be really fit. Unlike the people that twat wants to support. Fighting age young men who haven't fled a war zone, they've come over from France. And they're not fleeing a conflict, they want to come to Britain so they can scrounge off the British taxpayers for the rest of their natural lives. And it won't bother our new friend with the exciting hair, because I would put money on it, he's never done a day's work in his fucking life. And his lazy stereotypes. Oh, fascist and racist. The woke left get those terms out when they've lost the argument. No, dickhead, they aren't racist, they are concerned citizens watching the country change in real fucking time. And if he's all up for people flooding into the country and saying that Islamification is racist, let them live with him. Because this week, two 17-year-old Afghans who look about my fucking age have been jailed for doing the worst thing imaginable to a 15-year-old girl. And then earlier this week, another Afghan has been charged, not yet jailed, with doing the same thing to two 14-year-old girls. Let those people live in his house and see how quickly he changes his fucking mind. But let's stick with the idea of racism.
Let me walk into a business and see a fucking whites only sign. I'm fucking white. I'm about as white as they get. Look at how fucking pale I am, man. And I will use every ounce of that white privilege I've got to absolutely fuck up their day. I will be...
Okay, so that didn't happen. There aren't businesses saying whites only. What I think is happening here is this lady is desperate to virtue signal. But in doing so, she's showing herself to be a white saviour, and they are inherently racist and condescending to all people of colour. And I'm fairly certain there aren't businesses with whites only written in the windows, because said businesses would fucking be on fire. And even if they did exist, just don't go there. Don't give the business your money. It's absolute bollocks. But while we're on the race thing, I have to be careful here, but I will now be speaking after the next clip as a privileged white man.
I think we should get over 9/11. It's about to be almost 30 years since that happened. Pretty soon. I think it's time.
Yes, my friends, watching in the new world, get over 9/11. Only the biggest terrorist attack ever to take place on US soil. Just get over it. And our new friend, his maths aren't that good. It isn't almost 30 years ago, it's 24 years ago. But if the good people of the USA are meant to get over 9/11 that happened almost quarter of a century ago, I say that's absolutely fine, provided that one certain demographic stop banging on about slavery and demanding reparations. Is that going to happen? I thought not. Next up, we'll hear someone making a clear, concise and coherent argument.
It's time for another food bank haul. What did my family of... No! 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 Because hundreds of thousands of people are starving! Babies and mothers and grandfathers are starving to death! Because there are thousands of trucks of food and diapers and baby formula behind the fucking wall! And Israel won't let that in! Babies are starving right now! Gaza has no food! How can I show you what I get from the food bank for free? When my friend's family is starving! Palestinians deserve to eat just like you and me! They deserve to feed themselves now! And we're just watching them starve!
Okay, food banks. We have them in the UK and apparently also in the USA. And I think it says a lot about the state of the world that developed countries are relying on this form of, well, charity. But our new friend, who is screaming rather incoherently, is upset about food banks, or rather the lack of food banks being distributed in Gaza, in a calm manner. But the odd thing is, since the ceasefire came about and the cameras went into Gaza, these hundreds of thousands of starving people mostly appear to be remarkably well fed, unlike the hostages held by Hamas. And as our new friend is trying to make her argument, she's doing the standard practice of the terminally woke by cherry-picking things that fit her narrative. Yes, Israel was holding back some food aid and such like because it was getting hijacked by fucking Hamas, who were then selling it on the black market and using the money to buy rockets to fire back into Israel. And that lady says she uses food banks. And I'm not trying to be cruel because she isn't massively overweight, but it doesn't look like she's actually starving. Anyway, food can be very divisive.
You know what is Islamophobic? Do you know what is Islamophobic? These grocery stores. Because why is it the chicken and the turkey, like frozen foods, are more expensive than the pork frozen foods? Like, that's Islamophobic, bro. And it's like the price for the bulk pork is the price for the small single serve chicken, whatever, turkey. That is Islamophobic.
Grocery stores are Islamophobic. Give it a fucking rest. The reason that chickens and turkey are more expensive than pork has nothing to do with the religious connotations. It'll be down to farming costs for raising those animals and also slaughtering those animals. Sorry to any vegans watching, but that's how it is. It's got nothing to do with religion. Again, this is just false victimhood. But the thing that strikes me with this is that Jews also don't eat pork. So, if having higher prices on chicken and turkey over pork is Islamophobic, it must also be anti-Semitic. Ergo, the grocery store is victimising the Jews as well as the Muslims. I bet she can't square that circle, because that would mean that the people she sees as the greatest oppressors are also being oppressed in the same way she expects she is. That's going to make her explode without the aid of a backpack.
I mentally cannot work anymore, and when I say that, I mean that in a way where I work 9 hours a week, 3-hour mornings. That's it. I struggle with my mental health so bad that that's all I can do, and sometimes I struggle to do that. My question is, how are you guys still working, being extremely mentally unwell? And yes, I'm on medication.
I was dubious about including this clip. I admire that she's being open, that she has mental health problems, but many of us, and I include myself in this, we have our demons to face. Yet, losing 4 jobs in 5 years, is that down to mental health? And I hope if it is, she gets the help that she needs. Or is it just, and I suspect this is the case, that she's fucking lazy. Working 9 hours a week over 3 days, so 4 days doing nothing whatsoever, and 3 hours a day on the day she actually works. For me, that's start to my first break. In fact, at the moment, it isn't. In my job, 9 hours a day is the fucking minimum. I'm doing more than that at the moment. At present, my alarm goes off at 3:45 in the fucking morning. So sorry, I just can't feel sorry for her. And when I get home from work, I do this. I get in from work, I get changed, I go out wandering and record these videos because, sorry to be serious for a moment, but the world is so fucking shit at the minute that if I can go out walking and record a video, and fuck me, I know this bit isn't very funny, if I can make a few people laugh, then the day wasn't fucking wasted. I've got one clip left, and this truly is a person being awful. On Sunday, Lando Norris became the 11th British driver to become Formula One World Champion. And McLaren took the Constructors' Championship for the first time since 1998. So, at the McLaren headquarters here in England, you would expect the employees to be jubilant, to be celebrating, but no, because this prick turned up.
It's amazing to be here the day after Lando won yesterday, and I hope you've all got a smile on your faces because that interview with him afterwards, which I hope you've all seen, quite emotional, well, very emotional.
Look at how broken those people are. They should be celebrating and popping champagne corks, but no. That psychic fucking vampire, Keir Starmer, has turned up. A man with all the humanity in his voice of a speak your weight machine, who's as welcome as a turd that won't flush. I cannot imagine how demoralising it would be, after the biggest win of your career, being told, stand behind this fucking dickhead as he attempts to string a sentence together. Anyway, that's the end of people being awful, and they truly were awful. But tomorrow, or Friday, if I have to work late, as a Brit, I have a confusing video coming up. It's Minnesota and people from Somalia. Anyway, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you can leave a like, a comment or share the video, that really helps the algorithm. If you would like to support me in making these videos, and thank you to everyone who's done so already, there's a link in the description to buy me a coffee, and as ever, thanks for watching. So Keir Starmer, that So McLaren had just won the Constructors' Championship for the first time since 1998, and to celebrate, Keir I can't even say his name. Imagine it's the pinnacle of your career. You've just won the F1 Constructors... Fuck it! It's fucking Starmer! I'm sure Starmer cannot understand Formula One, because in that sport they don't do a U-turn every 5 fucking minutes.